32, number 21, number 7.
For 96-year-old Daphne Fox, a good carer is everything.
And they need a lot of patience.
31.
I have a special carer who does a lot for me that she doesn't need to do. And so I save up by bingo prizes and things and gives them to her. That pleases her and stops me from getting fatter.
Let me file this for you.
But for the Warana Beechwood Aged Care Home on the Sunshine Coast, such carers have been hard to come by.
To have a carer that actually performs the role from their heart is actually a very difficult thing to find. It's gotten to the stage now where we are constantly advertising.
Around 35,000 aged care staff are needed across the country. The federal government is trialling a new program to help meet the shortfall by recruiting workers from Pacific Island nations.
It's a scheme that fills skills shortages here, and it's a scheme that's critical to deepening the relationship between Australia and the Pacific.
Over the past year, the pilot program has helped around 100 workers from Fiji and Samoa obtain aged care qualifications. Three Fijian trainees joined the Warana Beechwood team almost 4 months ago. Friends Nade and Vika were both working as paediatric nurses in Fiji when they decided to apply for the scheme.
Okay, Annie. All right. Out of the thousands that registered and applied, 40 of us got into it, and we are the lucky two.
I just love it. I just love it in here. I love the residents in here. They're so good. They're so nice. We just see them as our parents back at home.
Their cultural values have put them in good stead for their new roles.
We always take care of our elderlies back home. They are the most important people in our lives. Yeah. I just care the same way I do back at home, and I do it over here to them. The same respect.
We've all learnt new words. Bulla was the first one we all learnt. The residents are so accepting of it. It's just another layer of diversity to Beechwood. It's great.
After the success of the initial trial, a further 500 workers will be placed in aged care jobs next year. They will join 33,000 other Pacific Islanders already working on Australian farms and meatworks.
So on average, a worker will send home $15,000 a year, and that's in a context where more than a third of Pacific Islanders live on less than $1,000 a year.
But historically, the broader Pacific labour scheme has, at times, been tarnished by allegations of worker exploitation. And there are concerns for a new cohort entering aged care, after a royal commission found workers in the sector were routinely underpaid and poorly treated.
That's a key focus of the Australian government, is lifting the paying conditions for Australian aged care workers. It's early days with this trial, but I'm confident that we've put in place a good system. They have to be paid the same as Australians doing the job. There's random audits. The employers are pre-screened, and really a strong oversight is put in place.
For Nade and Vika, working in Australia allows them to support their families back in Fiji.
Back home I have a home loan. So one of the goals that I'm looking forward to is by the end of these 4 years I'll get that home loan sorted.
I'm married. I have 3 children back at home. It makes it worthy for me because I'm looking ahead to their future, for them to have a good future and a good life.
Support measures unveiled in the budget will allow up to 200 workers in long-term placements to bring their families to Australia for the duration of their stay. And there's one other thing on Nade's wish list.
Permanent residency. If it turns out right.
That too could soon be an option for some workers. Up to 3,000 Pacific Islanders will be allocated permanent residency each year under a new visa, though it's unclear if that will be available to workers already in Australia.
That's something that we're consulting quite closely with. It's really important to get the design right on what is quite a revolutionary scheme and quite a revolutionary increase in our engagement with the Pacific.
But even with new measures to entice more Pacific Islander workers, gaping staff shortages in the aged care sector remain, and the fight to ensure quality of care for older Australians continues.
I feel very keenly for those who are confined to their beds or chairs. Don't know how I'd cope with that. But yes, I'm happy here, happy as I can be.